What's up everybody, with my Academia taking it easy for a little bit after that amazing fight with All For One and All Might. I thought I'd make a fun little video and see which class is actually better in UA, Class 1A or Class 1B. The way I'll be doing is I'll be ranking all the students from Class 1A to Class 1B. However, I'm basing all my information based off of the anime and not the manga, so there are a lot of students from Class 1B that cannot be in this video. However, I will try my very hardest to rank as many students as possible. And I will also be giving them tiers from D, C, B, A, and the illustrious S class hero. Now, even with the students that were taken away from Class 1B, there's still a lot of ranking and stats I have to go through. So I'm gonna go through this as quick as possible and make it as short and simple as I can. But let's just get to it and see what I can do. Yuga Aoyama with the Quark Naval Laser. Now, he has a pretty decent quirk with the power and range, but he has no teamwork and his potential isn't really high. And his costume helps out to shoot in other places other than his belly button, but why didn't he choose cooler places like the palm of his hands and the bottom of the feet so he can be like, I don't know, Iron Man? Come on. Wikido Sato with the quirk Sugar Rush. Now, he's got speed and strength when he eats more sugar, but he's getting dumber and dumber by the second. And the range isn't good, it's only close quarter combats. This is why he's D tier, man. Major Shoji with the quirk Doubly Arms. Now, he's been shown to have great teamwork throughout the show, and his quirk is pretty powerful. But if he was just a little bit faster, he would have been so much better. So, this is why he's at D tier. Sorry, dude. Minoru Mineta with the quirk Pop-Up. Now, this quirk isn't speed or power based, but the adhesive strength of these things are really impressive. And he's actually really smart, so if he used strategy with these things, he could really soar in the rankings. However, his obsessions with girls is pulling him back. Mashiraha Ojiro with the quirk Tail. Now, he's just a pretty good fighter overall, and he has great techniques with his tail. But the only thing I thought that would improve him later in the future is just learn more fighting techniques, and that's not pretty impressive. Kosei Tsuburaba with the quirk Solid Air. Now, from what we've seen, his quirk is really weak, seeing how the walls are very brittle, but I think he has a lot of potential, maybe increasing his lung capacity for bigger walls, and also maybe forming them in different shapes to make weapons. Koji Koda with the quirk Anti-Voice. Now, his quirk's actually pretty powerful when you really think about it. You're gonna have an army all around you all the time that will do anything for you. And all he has to do is just get rid of his shyness and just get a speakerphone, and he's pretty much set. Mina Ashido with quirk Acid. Now, she may be on the dumb side, but she's actually pretty creative using her quirk for transportation and speed. And her quirk is really powerful, just throwing straight up acid around. I mean, how cool is that? And she's really fun to hang out with, being really friendly with everyone, having great teamwork. Yosetsu Awase with the quirk Well. The reason he's so high up on these tiers is because with his potential of being a really good person for restraining all villains. I mean, if he can weld any two things together forever, that's pretty powerful for restraining people. Denki Kaminari with the quirk Electrification. His quirk is really powerful and a really good range with it as well. The only thing that bothers me is his creativity with the quirk. All he's doing is shooting it off, and when he shoots off too much he gets dumb, and that's not helping him out at all. Kojuru Bando with the quirk Semi-Ding. Now, this quirk's pretty interesting, seeing how he can use it for protection and also restraining anybody he wants. I also think that this quirk's got a lot of potential. Hopefully he can shape it into any form he wants later on in the future and use it for any situation. Ijiro Kurishima with the quirk Hardening. Now, the quirk is already really good by itself, but if he can increase his stamina and his durability, he's gonna be pretty unstoppable, being a great tank and also being just a really good weapon by himself. Now, the only thing dragging him down is his intelligence. Juzo Honenuki with the quirk Softening. Now, there's not much information about the dude so far except that he can make quicksand around himself, but I feel like his quirk has a lot of potential, seeing how he can maybe soften other things around him, being really great for infiltrating places and also trapping villains around him. Kyoka Jiro with the quirk Earphone Jack. She's already really useful, being able to tell where everyone is using vibrations from the ground or from the walls, and then with the combination of her costume, she can emit a really impressive sound wave, putting her at a high tier level. Tetsu 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 with the Quark Steel. Now he's basically the same as Kirishima, so he has the same stats as Kirishima. Do I need to say anything more? Just, it's the same thing as Kirishima. Hunter Zero with the cork tape. Not only is this cork really versatile, letting you swing around like Spider-Man, or trap villains, or set up traps, but the combinations of mobility he can have around villains is pretty endless. But only if you're around a lot of buildings or trees. Yuri Koidai with the cork size. Now this cork is pretty useful for escaping traps or maybe using it for the surprise tactic, but the biggest factor here is how big or small can she make herself, and can she increase it later on. Toru Hagakyore with the cork invisibility. This is the best cork to have for infiltrating bases. You literally can't see her, and if she gets caught, she can just flash them with light to disorient all the enemies. Hairyu Rin with the cork scales. Now there's not much information about this dude, but the only thing I know is that he can put scales on his skin, which seems a lot like Tetsu in Kirishima, so do I really have to say anything? I mean, on the plus side, I don't think he's dumb. Ochiko Uraraka with the cork Zero Gravity. Now this cork is pretty useful in so many ways. She can lift up villains and disable them from moving around. She can use it on herself to move around freely. And then she can use other objects around her to set up traps. Also, don't forget, she got the martial arts training from Gunhead. She's pretty useful now. Niito Monoma with the cork copy. Now this cork is really hard to assess because it can literally be anything he wants. So in a sense, it's one of the greatest corks possible. I mean, if you had a guy with the greatest cork, he can just copy it. The only downside is the 5-minute time limit. Tenya Ida with the cork engine. Now Ida has the potential to become a great leader later on in the future. And with the power and speed of the engines on his cap, it's pretty powerful. The only thing that's wearing him down is the amount of range he has. It's only kicks, so it's kinda limited. Iisuka Kendo with the cork Big Fist. This cork's got some power to it, with a little bit of range to help her out, and she's already shown to have some creativity with using her cork. The best thing is, from the training arc, she's shown some promising potential to be a great hero. Tsuyu Asui with the cork Fog. This cork can do so many things in her favor. She can hop really far, she can stick to walls, she can use her tongue to fight. I mean, those are just to list off the few things she can do with her cork. And if she can improve it more and more later in the future, it's gonna be really hard to beat her. And later on, she's gonna be a really lovable hero. Ibura Shiozaki with the cork Vines. Now the vines she can grow out of her head are immensely fast and powerful. I mean, she can beat Kaminari just like that. And the biggest question here is that, how many vines can she grow out of her head? And can she increase that number later in the future? Fumikage Tokoyami with the cork Dark Shadow. Not only has he shown that this cork is such a powerhouse in speed, strength, and power by getting 3rd place in the tournament arc, but if he gets full control of his full power Dark Shadow, he's basically unstoppable. Momo Yaoyorozu with the cork Creation. Just like Nito's cork, it's kinda hard to give specific assessments to this cork because she can basically make anything she wants in any situation, and the more she learns, the more she can create. The only thing she can just work on is just have more self-confidence in herself. Izuku Midoriya with the cork One for All. We all know that this cork is immensely powerful with great speed, strength, and range if he uses Delaware Smash. And the fact that he's using only 5% of the power is immensely terrifying, seeing what he can do with it. And we all know that he's gonna be the #1 hero sooner or later because he has the hero instinct for it. But seriously, Teku, stop breaking your goddamn arms! My heart cannot take it anymore, man! Shoto Todoroki with the cork half cold, half hot. And no matter how much we all hate Endeavor, he made a pretty perfect cork. Whenever his cold side gets tired, he can just use his fire side to rejuvenate it, and vice versa. The only problem I have with Shoto is that he's not being creative with his cork, he's just shooting it off. And if he was creative with it and maybe uses both sides at the same time later on in the future, he's gonna be a pretty tough one to beat. Katsuki Bakugo with the cork Explosion. Literally everything about him is pretty much perfect. He's smart, he has great power, he's creative with his cork, he has great speed using his cork, but god damn it, dude, why are you so angry all the time? Like, literally, talk to a counselor about this shit, man. Okay, now with all those assessments done, which class is the strong class? So with factoring the students that were taken out of class 1B, I would think that they would still go into all the other rankings except for S, and that class 1A is still the only class that have the S class heroes. I may be wrong about this because I haven't read the manga, but from this video and from the anime's information I've gotten, I would say that class 1A is still the stronger class. I'm sorry, Nito, but I couldn't disprove it.